Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinics, with physicians, physical therapists, and trainers who treat sports and performance-related injuries, with locations across the valley. More information on services and locations at stalphonsus.org/stayactive.
From Boundary to Bear Lake, Fremont to Payette, Oahe to Oneida, there are interesting people, places, and histories in all of Idaho's counties. And Idaho Matters wants to share it with you with stories from all 44 counties that make up the Gem State. Email your ideas to idahomatters@boisestate.edu or use the Talk to Us feature in our app, available on Apple and Android, and tune in each weekday at noon for Idaho Matters.
It's The Connector for Thursday, July 24th. Good morning. I'm Troy Oppie. On today's episode, Bryan Kohberger sentenced to life in prison without parole. We have a report from the courtroom. Plus, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was in Boise on Wednesday. State utility managers have given the thumbs up to Idaho Power's plan to expand its AC Cool credit program in the summer, and layoffs at one of Idaho's foremost agriculture companies. Those stories and more this morning on The Connector, Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio. We start this morning at the Ada County Courthouse, where Bryan Kohberger, the man who admitted to killing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022, was sentenced yesterday to 4 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. Northwest Public Broadcasting's Lauren Patterson was in the Boise courtroom.
It was tense and emotional inside the Ada County Courthouse as family and friends of the victims read statements on how the murders are affecting their lives. Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were murdered by Bryan Kohberger. More than a dozen people, some speaking on behalf of others, spoke at the sentencing hearing. Kaylee's father, Steve Gonzalez, faced Kohberger head-on at the podium as he spoke.
Today we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families. The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community.
When asked if he wanted to make a statement, Kohberger declined. Along with the life terms, he faces another 10 years on a burglary charge. The judge also ordered a $50,000 fine and a $5,000 civil penalty for each victim. I'm Lauren Patterson, reporting.
Idaho's governor and attorney general separately weighed in on yesterday's sentencing. In a statement, Governor Brad Little wrote that the state is united in healing and supporting the families and friends of the victims. He thanked Idahoans for their strength. Attorney General Raul Labrador's statement commended the life sentence that was handed down and acknowledged the support to prosecution provided in the case by the AG's office. 3 deputy attorneys general worked on the case alongside Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson and his staff. And then this year, former U.S. Attorney for Idaho Josh Hurwitz, who joined the prosecution. Kohberger was transferred from the Ada County Jail late yesterday to the state maximum security facility in Kuna. Police in Garden City say they're looking for a man suspected of kidnapping a woman on North Sawyer Street on Tuesday. The suspect, identified as Daniel Atchison, is alleged to have forced a woman known to him into his car with a weapon around 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. The woman escaped hours later near the same location and then called for help from a nearby business. Atchison fled. He's said to be armed and dangerous. He faces felony kidnapping, stalking, and weapons charges, and may be driving a gray 2021 Toyota Sienna with Ada County plates ending in 77U. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. yesterday cheered recent laws passed in Idaho promoting, quote, medical freedom. This was during a brief appearance in Boise. Here's James Dawson with more.
RFK Jr. kicked off remarks at the Idaho Capitol by slamming COVID pandemic policies across the country, with one exception.
Idaho did better than any other state in preserving those essential American freedoms, and a lot of that was because of the leadership of Governor Little.
He later gave props to Governor Brad Little and state legislators for recently passing a law banning federal food benefits from paying for candy and soda. Another bill prohibiting private businesses from refusing to serve people who don't treat their illnesses also got a shout-out. Little says efforts like these are imperative.
It's the right thing to do for a person. It's even more the right thing to do for their families. And I think the president and the secretary have talked about it's a patriotic duty to do for the whole country.
The two took no questions from reporters. They both later hosted a roundtable with tribal leaders on how they could help tackle mental health problems on reservations. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
Lamb Weston, the Eagle-based company famous for producing the frozen potatoes that become McDonald's French fries, is laying off 4% of its global workforce. The Idaho Statesman first reported the notice, provided in an investment filing. Lamb Weston says the workforce reduction includes currently unfilled positions within the company, but it did not specify layoffs by location. The company employs approximately 1,500 workers in Idaho. That includes the Eagle headquarters and production plants in the Magic Valley and East Idaho. The company has around 3,000 workers at facilities in Washington state. Affected employees started receiving notices yesterday and are receiving severance offers, according to the Statesman. The layoffs follow a leadership change forced by activist investor Jana Partners, which now controls 5% of Lamb Weston stock and recently gained influence over the company's board of directors after accusing previous leadership of financial mismanagement. Idaho's Public Utilities Commission approved a request from Idaho Power to expand its summertime cool credit program. That's where residents allow the utility access to shut their AC cooling down for short periods of time during high energy demand in exchange for credits on their electricity bills. It's controlled by the utility with a special device installed on the AC unit, but Idaho Power has proposed expanding the program to include customer-supplied smart thermostats. The Utilities Commission approved the idea. Idaho Power is expected to post a list of compatible smart thermostats on its website, but that does not appear to have happened yet. There's information on the program at idahopower.com. Search AC Cool Credit. Poor air quality is an issue in several states in our region this summer. As the Mountain West News Bureau's Yvette Fernandez reports, there are several contributing factors, and the sun plays a big role.
Several state health agencies across our region have issued air quality advisories for rising particulate matter linked to wildfires as well as ozone pollution. Ground-level human-caused ozone is exacerbated during the long summer days because of intense sun and UV rays. Ozone is a regional issue, says Kevin McDonald with Clark County, Nevada's Division of Air Quality.
One of the issues with ozone is that pollutants will travel. We get transported pollutants, wildfire smoke, and this all plays a factor in what we call this stew that forms ozone.
Southern Nevada is under an ozone advisory for the entire summer and a particulate advisory. This week, the Federal Environmental Protection Agency forecasts bad air quality in parts of Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Yvette Fernandez.
Thanks for listening to The Connector from Boise State Public Radio. Like and subscribe. That helps other people find this podcast, too. Tell your friends. Why not? Our general manager is Tom Michael. Our digital strategy manager is Lacey Daly. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. I'm Troy Oppie. Hope you have a great Thursday.
These days, there's so much news, it can be hard to keep up with what it all means for you, your family, and your community. The Consider This podcast from NPR features our award-winning journalism. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a news story and provide the context and analysis that helps you make sense of the news. We get behind the headlines. We get to the truth. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.